gun violence is still a real thing. And anything that we can do to prevent harm from that gun violence, I think is responsible for everybody, whether we see it as a real problem or not, especially something that doesn't infringe on our access. I know one memory that's really clear for me as an educator is we did have one student that died by suicide. Nobody else's home had access to a firearm, and unfortunately made the decision to take his own life with that firearm. And I wonder if that firearm was locked up or there was some precautions there, especially knowing that that there was possibly some mental health struggles and some things like that in these types of situations, that perhaps that would have had a different outcome.
In the U.S., the #1 cause of death in kids is accidents, unintentional injuries. And a child picking up a firearm, thinking it's a toy, or playing with it just because kids are curious and making a mistake and killing themselves or killing someone else is a tragedy. This program offers folks that present to the emergency department in behavioral health crisis that have access to firearms free, no strings attached means to secure their firearms in their home safely. I'm a hunter. I own firearms. In my training, I've worked with police departments. I think, particularly in Maine, there's a long history of hunting and owning firearms, and I don't think this program is about taking those away at all. I think this program is about allowing folks to store firearms in a responsible manner.
We don't want any suicides, and unfortunately I've been, in my profession, I've been witness to many where it makes you think whether if they didn't have that easy access to that particular weapon, would it have happened? Maybe not.
I think in Maine, we often think that it can't affect us. There's always the thing of, we didn't expect it to happen here. But in my 20 years in education, accidental deaths with firearms have affected 2 of my former students. So it's definitely a real possibility. It's something that we have to take seriously, and we have to be aware of as gun owners to make sure that we're doing our best to keep people safe. I think in both instances, the students wouldn't have had access to the firearm if they had been locked, had a gun lock on them, or been in a firearm safe. So those 2 lives possibly could have been, kept whole if they had been stored the right way.
When it comes to gun safety, obviously the first thing when you're not using a gun for a purpose of hunting or training firearms at the range or something, when you're not using it, always have your firearm unloaded, especially at home. That's where there's easy access. So always unload your firearm. Always keep your ammunition separate from your gun in a separate location. Again, it's creating less easy access. And then in any time that you don't need it, lock it up. Use a gun safe. Use a trigger lock. I'm a firm believer of the Second Amendment, 100%. But with that right also comes a responsibility. And I understand that it is a right to have, but also I believe it's just as strong as a duty to be safe.
I think we need to think about gun safety just like we think about safety with anything that could potentially cause harm. We think about car safety, we think about keeping things within our house safe when we have kids. We think about anything that could potentially cause harm and ways of reducing that harm on a daily basis. So, in my mind, I don't know why we wouldn't think about firearms in the same way we think about anything else that can potentially cause harm.
From the emergency department perspective, our goal is to keep our community safe. This program, we're trying to roll out a means of helping people safely secure firearms in their homes so we do not have a tragedy in our community. If you're on the fence about participating in this program, I really would encourage you to take up our program and take whatever we have home to securely store your firearm. If you were to unfortunately have an accident in your home involving your child, whether that be your child hurting themselves, killing themselves, or someone else, you're really going to wish that you took this home and safely secured your firearm.